the luxury of playing other stuff, really. Yeah, let's do EGG2, and then honestly, I might call it there, but kind of like, I'm not going to do as long a stream as yesterday.
Yeah.
Why did the VOD start after draft, man? I always want to watch draft. It's super annoying.
Because the people, they expect people to be like, yes, gameplay. And that's it.
Yes.
Alright.
Sorry, my camera's really bright for some reason. I vampirized myself again.
This draft rattled me a little bit. I have to say. If it is the draft I remember, the set and the...
Oh, hang on, yeah. Oh, wait, is this... Yeah. Oh,
yes.
This might not be a great game. Well, we're going to watch it, but, like, this might not be a great game to review.
I mean, I think it's a good game to review to show, like, how good
Swain.
Of a read on the laning Caps has.
This is also, like, this is a Flakked Targamas thing. They play, like, Senna, Swain, bot lane, and then, let us say, Swain support. What?
I wouldn't.
What? This is a little bit target ban as well. Jojo Zakali has been pretty good at finding playmaking.
Yeah. I will say I do think BB has Swain in his back pocket if he wants.
Yeah, probably. He plays a lot of champions. He's very good at his whole pocket picky thing.
Yeah, I think no. Was it the DK game where he got Darius banned against him?
Maybe.
There was Darius banned.
Ah, did draft fall through? Oh no.
No, the direction, the production.
No.
Made it.
I don't know what happened with the champ select graphics. Marco first pick, cool. Right. Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. You're looking at Sylas now because, as you always should be.
Yes,
Sylas stealing Maokai ult is disgusting. There aren't that many things which deal with him in lane. We've seen the Sylas come up. We've seen the set come up a little bit, right? But it's not awesome. Jankos is now a sheep, by the way.
Apparently.
G2 Jankos. Sheep.
Sheep.
I can appreciate that. They got the spirit.
But I think the fact here that they lock in such a strong combo as the Sylas Sejuani.
It is. Oh yeah, you do have the increased attack speed in your melee. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's actually fair. I actually really like having Sylas against Sejuani for stealing Sejuani ult, particularly. Fnatic were very good at stealing Sejuani and Ornn ults and then using that to engage.
Yeah. There was 2019 G2 used to play Sylas Sejuani Braum.
Yeah, just infinite, just like CC meat grinder.
Yeah. Here, going for the Varus TK is actually pretty good.
Yeah. So Varus TK is a highly underrated lane. I know that they kind of memed it a little bit on the desk and says, "Oh, don't keep playing Varus, CG." It's actually a really good combo. I like Varus. Varus gives you that early game pro. We already talked about it in Damn One, right? Varus actually has a lot of good ways to control the bot side of the map, and you don't get to die for Varus TK. Like,
also, early game Varus is such a strong champion because of the attack speed from passive.
There isn't much which... Varus, when he's meta, is super annoying to play against. You can Misfortune into it. Aphelios is like... It's a kind of a consolation lane. You know you're not going to get the most out of the Aphelios because, like, you do get traded on early.
But I think when you have locked in a Sylas Sejuani, you're thinking, okay, we're going to pick a bot lane that scales, and we can just leave there.
You've given up the Azir.
Okay, here it felt weird that G2 didn't ban the set because they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I feel like they 100% knew the set was coming, and they could have banned it.
Maybe they were okay with it. I mean, what do I think? What do I think? I don't think I care too much about set. I think that it'll... Oh yeah, they banned the Darius set. That's why they banned it.
Yeah, it was this game they banned the Darius. So this Darius ban is telegraphing that Maokai is going top.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, or rather like they're considering it. Sometimes you can get some red herrings in here, but it like gives them the option of it, right?
Yeah, so here, if I do remember right, G2... No, they picked support, which I felt kind of weird about, because the Darius ban should have told them, and they could have just locked in the Fiora here.
Maybe they didn't want to get freaked out by it. They've already got bot set. Oh, yeah, this is another thing. So this is quite fun. So if they didn't ban the set, this is the other thing, right? So you're going to have Shield Bow Varus, Devour.
You're going to have, TK
you're gonna have
Shields.
Set. You're going to have Set, which is coming in at some point.
Yeah.
Like, Rel Q breaks shields, folks. In a single team fight, Rel could actually effectively do 2,000 plus damage. In a good enough fight, in a good enough fight, you can shred 2,000 damage with shields away.
Yep. Shattering Strike is a very balanced ability.
That's actually hilarious. I hadn't considered that, but Rel's shield breaking ability is kind of hilarious. You could have also Blitzcrank. That's why they were hovering it. You can actually do that as well.
Yep. I do think the Blitzcrank is more high risk.
Yes, Blitzcrank is always high risk. Why are they going? But like, well, I don't know about that one, man. I think you can actually go Trundle there. So the problem I have with this is like, you have Nidalee is good into Graves. Graves is already banned. You don't even care about that. The best way I can think of this is a really ill-advised poke comp. You got double poke, you got triple frontline. So you got 2 pokers, 2 front lines, and you're like, okay, cool, maybe we can hold some ground. Yeah, nah, you're not doing that versus Sejuani, Sylas jumping on you with stolen ults, Gravitum ult, and then also Rel jumping on you as well. And whatever the hell they put in top side. So like, even with the 4 champions you've gotten already, you are not allowed to play poke. You're just not allowed to do that.
Also, I think the Nidalee here also was like, okay, we have the set spikes at level 3. Level 4,
set Nidalee is a good combo, but you don't get to do much against that. And, oh god, this is just awful because, I mean, in fairness, oh no, this is awkward as well, because if you're playing poke comp and there's a Fiora here, Fiora into a tank, that's bad enough. It puts your poke on a timer. Most of the time, poke comps are good when you can sit here as your Varus or your Nidalee and say, I am going to get 3 or 4 or 5 skill shots, and someone won't be able to fight after I've hit enough of these. Fiora puts that on a timer and says, if you don't hit, actually your first 2, your first 3, I'm at your tower. Maokai's not able to stop me from hitting the tower, I'm demolishing it, I've built a hull breaker, I've built whatever. And you don't get the ability to play towards 3 or 4 rounds of cooldowns. You're sat there, and you're playing towards only 2 or 3 sometimes. Especially if Fiora is in position, and that means the poke doesn't really ever get his best case scenario.
I feel like Jojo here is like, he's thinking that he can just hard win the laning matchup, because Sett is so strong into melees in the mid lane. But I will say, just thinking right now, if they move the Sett top lane, Sett is a decent enough pick into Fiora, because he doesn't really care about vitals and everything, he just wants to fight, and fight. And he can just neutralize the lane.
Early levels, Sett can outplay the Fiora, but you can, I don't think it's a winning matchup. I think it's risky.
But then they could have gone for the Victor in the mid lane, or the Orianna, and they have their consistent AP there plus late game damage, without going for a
What do I think? Because what was the first round? First round was Sejuani, Sylas, Aphelios, right? It was these 3.
Yes.
So you've seen these already, and you've locked in Maokai first pick.
Maokai first pick, and then Varus TK.
Varus Tahm-Kench. So you've seen these. Bans come through. What were the bans? The bans were
Darius and Renata.
No, what did they ban? Graves Azir. So you don't have the Azir in terms of that.
No, you don't have the
Akali.
Azir, but the Victor is
So
open.
actually, before you lock in mid, you see actually 4 as well, right? So you know that hard engage, real ability to play around mid jungle 2v2. Yeah, you can Victor there. Victor's alright. Victor. Yeah, Victor's fine, actually. You play pretty well into Sylas early.
He can suffer. Like,
yeah, but it's not
levels.
losing you the game, and it works pretty okay into the team comp. I think Victor maybe gives you a bit of... Because between, like, Gravfield, Devour, Chains of Corruption, you got a lot of ability to disengage from the play. Then the question is, what do you lock into the jungle at that point, I guess? Graves already banned.
You have the Maokai.
That's true.
You have the Maokai already locked in.
Then what are you going topside at that point? Maybe you can... Nah. Maybe, no. Do you really want to put Sett topside?
I think Sett with Grasp or Conquer.
I don't think Sett's good as a blind pick. I think you always need to know the matchup Sett's going into. I think that it's... Like, yeah, this is fine in terms of melees into mid, but like, I don't like Sett blind. I don't think that works right now. Was Ornn banned?
Ornn was not banned.
I think if you go Victor, maybe you can go Trundle and put the Maokai top. Just play front to back. Well, but then actually, then you have stolen Trundle up for Sylas, which I really hate giving over.
But here, Jojo and Impact were already like, as soon as first wave finished, they were like, okay, we're gonna pick the Sett if they leave it open, and we're gonna put the Maokai top.
This is super dangerous already, actually, from Impact. He actually plays it out the second half of this really well. He Qs him out of the the Q, so he doesn't get damaged on that one. And also, like, Broken Blade just hops over the Vital. I think he maybe thought Impact was going to flash, so he could try... I thought he tried to mind game a flash from Impact, though. Anyway, Impact, like, wins out in a micro trade, but it's like, okay, your wave's still kind of screwed. Good luck with this. You're out of mana. Marco has huge mana issues. That's not changed since his time in top lane before.
Yep.
He dead.
And this is
Oh,
Sejuani.
the flash is unforgivable there. The flash is actually unforgivable. You can't do that.
Jankos finally on an early game playmaker that can get
Back
out
on
of
his
fights.
beloved Sejuani.
Yeah.
You got Sheen first back from Borka Blade. Bleh.
That lane's over. There's no playing.
Yeah, you have now got to the point where you can't win the incremental trades. You're at the mercy of the few already, and that's not great.
Because Maokai have been really annoying with like extended trades with passive.
That's how
Fiora
he's
just
always
wins.
played, yeah. Mid lane is like,
Fiora always
okay,
wins in
you've
that case.
pushed in, but the problem is if you're playing around topside to have like set roam to the play or something, like you've already not done anything with that. And you're only 10 CS
Yeah.
ahead. So, yeah, that ain't really doing it for you. I think the draft from GT was really smart. I think it was really smart. I think that the Rel actually had a lot of value on 4, knowing that the sat was likely to come in, and then it's like, I think at that point when you see the Rel, I think at that point you just pick anti-dive. And you just,
Yeah.
I think that potentially can work.
As much as
On
it
a-
is not a great ulti to give up, I think Galio mid for EG wouldn't have been so bad.
That would have been, yeah, that would have been fine. I think, hell, there's even an outside angle of going for something like a Syndra, actually. If you really want to be lane dominant, you can actually Syndra there. Well, I don't know, actually. Silas Q-Max into Syndra is kind of nasty, actually. You hit like one Q and then suddenly Syndra can't play.
The actual best pick that isn't being played into Silas, if you want zone control and anti-dive, is playing Cassiopeia.
True. Would Cass be good this game? Yeah, it's not bad, actually. Because you got the extra disengage. Yeah, Cass could have been fine. Cass could have been more than fine here, actually.
Cassiopeia makes Silas's lane unplayable.
Yes, I've played the match a couple of times. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be a very big Silas player, and playing into Cassio or Syndra is nigh impossible.
If you wanted to go double poke, you could actually Zoe as well. Zoe's okay.
Yeah, Zoe's okay into Silas because he doesn't give up a strong ultimate
Not a strong ultimate. You get early prio.
for Silas.
You probably go Spellbook Zoe and you take Cleanse for the important fights. Zoe could have been fine. It gives Jojo Pyun some like extra skill expression as well. That
There
would
were
have been
so
okay.
many more different picks that could have enabled a more
Yeah, you can actually
playmaking jungler.
Zoe. You can Zoe Marco jungle at that point as well, even though you're double mid jungle AP. That's fine, and you can save top lane for like a safer blind pick than Marco. Yeah, I think Zoe is actually the pick I'd put here if you were gonna do poke comp.
Yeah.
This
Also,
is
those-
again
I
like
love-
so. This is a bigger problem for me, you know. EG and particularly Inspired. Well, I mean, they try to make a play topside, right? Inspired invaded over here.
Yes.
Bot side, you got this. What the hell is Jojo doing? It does not matter if you get plates on Set. Set is
Yeah,
not
because you
someone who
spike at
needs the
one
gold.
item.
Set is here to make sure the rest of your map is winning. You have failed. That's the big thing here.
Yep.
You have picked an early prior matchup to get a CS lead, and like, wow, cool. You've got yourself some gold in mid lane on plays. Sure, but you got 7 crescendo on bot side. Who cares? Even if you got the Herald and you take first turret, like, you've got 2 kills under caps. You have really majorly messed up here as...
Also,
I'm not
Caps
going to
has
say
a
this is
ring.
Jojo's fault, but it is EG using Jojo's pressure, regardless of whether that is his choice or not, in a poor way. And I'm not going to attribute that to whatever plays. I don't know what the comms are, but Jojo has to be impacting these plays early. And if he's not,
Yeah.
why picking this matchup? Why are you picking it? It doesn't make sense.
Also, Caps is fine giving up the minions because he has a ring in his inventory.
True, Duck Seal, extra gold value, nice. And he also gets to steal. He also gets to steal the time control, which is kind of hilarious.
Yep.
The shield is really good to saving your carries.
We saw it in a later team fight in this game. I
Yes,
remember.
yeah, in the base, yeah. But like already, this game is super difficult for EG because like, do not be fooled by the gold, even though it's close. Like, wow, they're only 500 gold behind. The fact that you haven't managed to get ahead with the first 2-3 plays of the game, with first the top gank from G2 when Inspired was on that side of the map, and then also bot side with that bot dive with Jojo just hammering ways into tower. That is not how you use prior mid picks like Set.
Yeah,
Something like Azir is happy to say at Set in lane. You don't win the game by having 100 CS advantage on Set or whatever. Well, I mean, a little
Nidalee
bit.
said mid jungle at this point want to be 2k gold up.
Yep.
and
No.
they're 1k down.
Broken Blade just gets to keep playing around topside. That's more than fine. He's got teleport, just making sure that Impact doesn't have a good time. And so I know that Reckless is doing a co-stream as well, or like a live viewing, and he was like, oh my god, C9's macro is awful, why are you playing around like XYZ side laning stuff? I think that NA teams they're falling behind in some of the fundamentals, which is really difficult. I think 100 Thieves against Flying Oysters, they actually played well given the draft, but the draft gave them so few options that they were never going to win. I VOD reviewed that yesterday. I don't think 100 Thieves actually played poorly. I think they did well given the situations they were in, but they should never draft into that situation. So I think there is some hope for NA in 100 Thieves. This game, you got to address what's happening with you can't play this draft like this. You can't play this draft like this.
Yeah.
I don't think this draft is like the worst, but you can't play it like this. Yeah,
not the worst, but it's they're not playing to their strengths.
Yep.
They're like, oh yes, we are fine with getting lane advantages.
So no, you're not.
You're not fine getting lane advantages. You need to get your jungle ahead.
Well, you also want to nullify the first couple of plays with your mid lane as well. Like,
yeah,
if G2 are making like roaming plays to like bail out what is typically a bad laning situation, like Set has to be impacting this play. If you are getting ganked in a topside 2v2, Set needs to be at that play. Set needs to be pushing and roaming even at the cost of himself, and that's not what Jojo's done. NA goes 0-18. I mean, they got time to adjust, but like they have not hit the ground running. They are behind on drafts and in terms of their play as well. They need to adjust on both these things. They need to really assess what the hell's going on with the decision making in multiple areas of the game. It's not easy to solve. I don't envy them. I really don't envy them. They have very talented coaching staffs. I really do believe that. But in terms of like the game knowledge which they have, I've got a lot of respect for Peter Dunn and the EG coaching staff. But like, there's so much to address. So much. I think that's actually the problem with a lot of visa issues, meaning that a lot of teams came to Worlds very, very late. Because you haven't had any boot camps. You haven't had a chance to play against all of these teams. Get yourself a bit of a leg up on the meta, do a boot camp, whatever. Oh, let's slow this down. Let's slow this down. So I think GT do some important stuff in this fight. In the lead up to this fight, anyway. So, Fiora's not here. Doesn't have teleport. Right. G2, momentary 4v5 because you got the teleport coming in. Impact seen on the flank. This is fine. I think you are happy to play around this kind of choke because you have a Rel. Got Rel.
Oh, G2 love playing in chokes with this comp.
You've also got Midnight Vigil. You got Hijack on something important. Probably you can do Set ult. That's fine. You can do Varus ult.
Yeah, Hijack showstopper.
Hijack showstopper or Varus ult is crazy value. And this ward really cucks EG. Because what you're looking to do is have a 0 reaction time Chains of Corruption, which just ruins your fight.
Yeah, they want to have a snap engage with Impact flanking with the Maokai ult to deny peel.
You don't have the... You're in the transitionary weapon state for Flakked. This is not a fight in combo. You want to get rid of your Caliber ammo. So let's see how quick Flakked can do that. And I think that EG need to wait until they see what Hijacked ult comes out. I think they're waiting until that happens.
Flakked is dumped.
You are okay to play around spears and arrows. I think that's something that your comp can do. You're waiting... Flakked now actually just got rid of... Okay, so he's got Infernal. That's...
Yeah, G2 just want to funnel the fight into a choke point.
They take it too quick. EG don't slow the fight. They don't slow the fight. But as soon as that Sejuani ult lands and you got the Varus ult, you're like, oh god, we're in a bad spot. We're in a really bad spot. Oh, this is really awkward now for...
But also here, Vulcan eats Jojo when he has his W going.
Does he? I don't think it stops the W going through, by the way.
Oh no, he Ws as he comes out of the Devour. But I
Actually,
don't think
what happens to the Varus ult here? What happens to the Varus ult? Let's slow down.
The Varus ult gets thrown out when?
On the first target. So I think it gets thrown out. So spear hits. Ult.
So they
smashed.
You gotta look for a root. It roots Jankos.
Roots Jankos. Mark ult's good.
Roots the
Targamas gets knocked out of a really awkward situation. So actually, he gets Maokai queued, so he doesn't actually get a good engage angle. He was planning to flash flash W ult.
Yeah.
I think. Wait, does he get knocked out of his W actually? That is super annoying. He just never gets to use it. Yeah. Targamas just doesn't get onto the back line. But the Infernum is, yeah. Flakked actually gets a really good Infernum here.
From
The stolen Varasalt starts doing work as well. And they just know it's in that brush. Yeah.
Also the fact that the Grand Challenge is popped and all of G2 are healing on it.
Oh, yeah. So, actually, that's a good point. Who's the Grand Challenge?
He challenged Jojo.
Yep. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why Fiora actually has teamfight value. You one-shot the first target and give an AoE heal. It means that you're like the first person into the fight. A lot of the current meta right now is not about diving backline, which Fiora can struggle with. She needs a flank for it, but actually about just killing the first target. Where you're just like, okay, first target's here, we kill him. And Fiora ult really helps you do that. So Fiora actually has teamfight value. She fits into the meta of killing the first frontliner in it. It's also why Trundle's very good, Sejuani ult very good. Yeah. I feel like EG play this fight a little too fast.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst case scenario. I don't think it's worst case scenario, but
I don't think eating the set should be your priority.
also Corey is just like way out of position in that brush as well. Like he stands up too far. But
Book.
Nice. 2-item spike. Second item Medjai's is really good. Dark Seal on first back. Just hope you take a good Herald fight, something like that. Especially when you're playing a matchup like that. Yeah, there we go.
Silas and movement speed, a match made in heaven.
Yep, especially when you're against a lot of melee champions as well. When you're against something like a Set or
with a 10-stack Medjai, you can actually forego. With a 10-stack Medjai, you can forego going for the Cosmic Drive, and you can go directly for a Zhonya's or a Death Cap.
You can do. I mean, I think Cosmic Drive's still fine, but yeah, you're just ahead of the curve, right? God, and he gets another kill there. That's so shit for you. Again, I think that Medjai's second. You don't get that many players that do it in the West. Yugao does it a fair bit. Knight does it a fair bit. Caps does it a fair bit. And they are very good at what they do. Seriously, second item Medjai's is really, really important. Because at the end of the day, what you want to do is stack it so you have it at highest value for the fights which actually matter in the game. Sometimes a Medjai's is a victory lap and you're like, haha, I have won the game and I'm styling on you. But when you get it second, you have one good fight, like the game's over. Game's over. You're just way ahead of the curve at that point. That's what you're aiming to do with the Medjai's. It is a double down item, especially when you're on a champion like a Sylas or an Ahri that has really good survivability.
BB's riposte there.
Yeah,
so good to get out of the situation.
Yeah, riposte makes these sideline plays really, really difficult. So now you're at a point where EG is just lacking options everywhere.
Yeah, your AD carries down in a matchup where it doesn't outscale. Your mid laner is completely out of the game and outclassed. Your jungle is just a spear bot.
Yes.
And your top laner
Nighthawk's the spear bot for... Yeah,
and your top laner has a mismatch of components that's not gonna offer really too much in fights because he only has a Frostfire as a complete item. There is no Frozen Heart, there is no Thornmail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think the key moments in this game is EG not knowing what the hell to do with this set getting cryo early. It's like, haha, I'm pushing in lane, and that was kind of it. Didn't really do much beyond that point. So, yeah, I think if that happens, maybe you can turn around bot side. If Alice doesn't get stupidly far ahead, you still retain a bit of an advantage going into a Herald fight. But, like, I'm not saying it with that. Even then, that's like, it's not like you've won the game. It's just, it's better for you. This is just bad. Stopwatch from Caps as well.
Yeah, he's building towards a Zhonya's. He already has a Fiendish Codex. He just needs
yeah, well,
Seekers.
Caps does overextend here. Teleport in the river. Like, he dies for this, but whatever. Like, he dies, he loses some stacks, but, like, he's got some assists. If they actually get some assists after here, it's actually still, like, okay. This is the thing. If you die with Medjai's, even if you get, like, 2 assists, you've made up, like, half the value again. So it's not even nearly as bad. It's only bad if you die isolated. If you're just brawling all the time, like, he's still got 6 stacks. Like, he's still okay. All you need, like, he's not as powerful as he was before, for sure. Like, but it's not like you're suddenly on 0 stacks. Spider doesn't get the steal.
Medjai for each stack is 5 AP? Or 10?
Something like that, 5, yeah. You get 140 or something at max stacks, is 25 stacks. Yeah, you get 20, something like 20 base, and then it's 100.
Look at how many
120.
chakrams Flackhead has.
Yeah. Wait, wait, what? Does he 3 up and switch it?
I think he ults with Infernum still. No, he has no.
No, he
Infernum.
also Chakram. He gets like a 3-man Chakram ult. This is actually a really bad combo as well. It's just like, I have Chakram ult, nice.
Yeah, and there's a Rel that already bunches them up for you.
Yeah, yeah. You get like 3 Chakrams base and then like 1 for each other champion hit beyond the first. Which is quite a lot.
This is just perfect mid games by G2.
Yes, EG kind of gave it to them though, not gonna lie. They gave it to them for free.
That is true. Because they gave up the early game, which is the part of the game where you don't want to give up because you have a Nidalee.
Like this, EG just didn't know what to do with the set matchup. They just didn't know what to do with it. Like, there is a lack of understanding on the Rift what they're doing with the mid prior matchup. You are gonna get outvalued. If Set does not get a significant lead through the mid jungle, good luck. Caps got the Devour. Allows Flack to play super aggressively, which he does. Game's over. Cool.
Yep.
Look, there's not much to say about this. It's like,
yeah, no,
I think the draft is playable, but they played it wrong. They played it wrong regardless. I don't think it's a winning draft. I think it is playable, but they played it wrong. That's my take on it. That's my triaging for EG in that one. They've had some of the better drafts. They've had plans, obviously, to figure some stuff out, but that's rough. Yeah.